Terence Crawford responds to Teofimo Lopez saying, like I told him, focus on who you're fighting, not me. Back to the drawing board, chump. This is after Teofimo Lopez's controversial win over Jermaine Ortiz. I saw the fight. I thought Teofimo lost. I was even rooting for Teofimo Lopez, but I am an objectivist, not a fan, not a blind, loyal supporter. No, no, no. I look at things for what they are, and Teofimo Lopez kind of got exposed last night for not knowing how to cut off a ring. And the movement, the lateral movement of Ortiz, his ring generalship, his ability to play the matador to Teofimo's bull it was pretty beautiful to watch, you know? Would I have liked to seen Ortiz throw more punches? Yeah, sure. But we've seen people win on low punch outputs before, you know. The commentary was very biased. We know Top Rank. We know that Teofimo's their golden boy. We know that they're going to be fucking, downplaying everything Ortiz is doing, you know what I mean? And Tim Bradley's an interesting one too, because he was one of the main people doing it, downplaying Ortiz throughout the fight. And then as soon as the fight was over, he completely switched his opinion. Very interesting. The commentary is another video, though. We're talking about Teo and Crawford. Teo recently said, and even after the fight, he was calling for Terence Crawford. Those are not problems that Teofimo wants, bro. I'm sorry. They're not problems that he wants. Crawford is bigger. Not only is Crawford bigger, but Crawford is, I think he hits harder. I think he's more explosive. Even at the age that Teo is at, which is way younger. I think he's only 25 years old. He's way younger than Crawford. He's like almost a decade younger than Crawford. I just don't think Crawford's like out of his prime. You get what I'm saying? And I think Crawford still, I respect what he did to Spence, bro. I respect what he did. A lot of people can't. First of all, a lot of people, especially you Spence people, oh, Spence gonna whoop his ass, all this stuff, right? Cool. After the fight, a complete 180 happened in our reality, right? Your opinion was one thing, but our reality showed that Terence Crawford beat the brakes off of Errol Spence, made it look easy, right? It was a walk in the park. That's what it was for him. Now, with that said, you want to discredit. You want to say Errol Spence had the car accident, Errol Spence wasn't right, Errol Spence had something with his eye or whatever. Like, bro, where was that before? Why weren't you picking Crawford then? Do you get what I'm saying? So, with that said, I don't see Teofimo, especially after that last performance. Like, bro, what are these performances we're getting from Teofimo Lopez? I believe Teofimo Lopez, once upon a time, when he had fought Vasily Lomachenko, when he was on that trajectory, I think the pandemic messed him up. I think when he lost to Kambosos, that was a story of just the fight being delayed so many times. I really do. I think Teo has had some really bad timing, right? He's had some bad issues with timing and things like that. And I think maybe his focus dipped. He's talked about retiring multiple times. He's talked about retiring because he's waiting for like a big money fight. He's kind of shifted the idea of being the greatest of all time for what you do in the ring versus the greatest of all time for like entertainment, which is nothing, right? It's just what time of day is it? You get what I'm saying? The entrance was fire. I love the entrance. Probably the greatest entrance of all time. But however, that entrance Teofimo Lopez had, as great as it was, the performance was not indicative of that great theatrics. It was not indicative of that, man. He did not come out and stop him within 5 rounds. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of performance you have to have if you have all the glitz and glam stuff right there. But again, it's boxing. If they did go to the distance, you damn well sure know that the promoter is not going to have their golden goose loose on the scorecards when we could rob this kid, especially when the kid has a low punch output and it's not obvious. You know what I'm saying? You could actually say, oh, well, he was running. Bro, it's boxing. You have to cut off the ring. Angles, the sweet science. Ortiz displayed the sweet science. What do you lose for the sweet science now? Do you see my point, guys? Do you see my frustration with the sport? Do you see my frustration with this fight? I'm 100% on Crawford's side. Not only do I think if this fight were to happen, Crawford smokes him, but I agree with this statement, bro. Focus on who you're fighting. Focus on your weight class first. Crawford's been the best in his weight class for years. You get what I'm saying? Crawford's been the best for years. Teofimo hasn't been the best for years. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't reigned as long as a Crawford has reigned. So, I don't know, bro. I think Teo just got to get back on track. I don't know if he can, because, again, he's talking about retirement. Like, he's all over the place. He's all over the place with his mental. And we saw his temperamental get exposed, too, to a certain degree. We saw him in this fight get frustrated, get discouraged. Teofimo Lopez was not having fun in there, and Teofimo is best when he's having fun. You know, he has some of the greatest, leaping corkscrew uppercuts, exciting ass, explosive punches from different angles that you'll ever see. You know, he's really a joy to watch, Teofimo. I think Teofimo, like, if you go back and watch his fights, the Lomachenko fight before that, his build, his ascend, I think he had potential to be on some Tyson shit. Like, I remember when his father was talking and saying all this stuff, and you're looking at it, and it's like, yeah, that right hand to the body was hard and vicious and mean, and Teo's got that. Teo's also got the counters. He's got the boxing ability too. He's not a brawler. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like what Ortiz was doing even wasn't like he was running. You get what I mean? If he was running, then you could just say, oh, Tito's a brawler and he's wild with his shots. Not really. Teo knows what he's doing with the boxing. He couldn't cut off the ring. He kind of, I don't want to say he got outclassed, but he got outboxed for sure. He for sure got outboxed. And yeah, bro. Yeah, that's my take on this whole thing. Disappointed in Teofimo Lopez. I want to see more from him. I want to see him reach his potential. Again, I was rooting for the guy, you know what I'm saying? The headbutt, I think the headbutt was intentional. I do. I think he was frustrated. He had already done the thing where he backed up and he was like, no, now you come fight me. It's like, bro, he's fighting his fight. He's fighting his fight and you're losing. You know what I mean? So you getting frustrated and stopping in the middle of the ring, all that shows me is that you're frustrated and you're having a tantrum. You get what I'm saying? I think his temperament was exposed. I think his ability to cut off the ring was exposed, and he got to get back to the lab, back to the drawing board, like Terence Crawford says. And listen, it's one thing for an asshole like me to get on here and say this, right? It's one thing. But Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford, and if Terence Crawford is saying this, get back to the drawing board. I think that's the truth, man. I think that's the truth. I think he needs to take that as what it is. And yeah, you're right. You're right. The entrant, objectively, this was an L for Teo. Even though he won and blah, blah, blah. But he's coming out of this. I feel like his stock has dipped a little bit. That's just my take. And that's the wrap up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion and follow for more. Thank you.